All right, good evening, guys, and happy Friday. Welcome back to Dead Moon Detective slash Meeting of the Minds on my new channel.
Yeah.
So, those guys don't know, unfortunately, I had to step away from Sparkman Studios, and so I, had to dissociate my association from everything, and so this is the second stream here. This is going to be the first. This is our first one, and we are joined. Do you mind if I shorten it by Rose? Is that okay?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you can say Rose if you like.
We are joined here by Rose. She is the creator of Division 5. I think we've only been chatting for a few months, but I got when we were back, when right before we launched Spearhead, I started following you because we were retweeting with Global Comics. We were on that big kick of everybody pushing Global Comics and getting the comics out there. So I've been following her project since then, and I love what she's posted. I love the artwork and the story. So she's here to talk to us about her project. It is currently on Kickstarter. We're going to talk about that. I want to do some shout outs on some other crowdfunders real quick, if you don't mind, Rose. And then,
oh yeah, go for it.
Then we'll dive into your project. And first, but not last at all, is our good friend, Mrs. H. She is currently doing, and I'm going to jump over here to that screen here. Of course, my computer is slower than molasses tonight.
It's all right. It happens.
All right. So she's currently running a Kickstarter for Captain Orange issue 1 and 2, and she's fully funded. I'd love to see this because this is great. Because Rose, I know you got fully funded. Do I believe first day, right?
Yeah, we were. I got funded within 1 hour. 3 minutes got fully funded at 1,000. So I was really shocked by that because I never done Kickstarter before, and so I hear people are just like, "Oh, I'm struggling to get funded," right? And I did not expect to hit the goal within an hour, 40 minutes in. So that was really impressive.
Well, I think there's a couple reasons why. We'll talk about that too here. A lot of the reason why I think it is, I think people are willing to back smaller goals, like 500, 600, 1,000, or maybe 2,000 or $3,000. People are very leery on 5 and higher campaigns right now because so many people just don't have a lot of money. So,
and not to mention how many of those large campaigns from the start of, I guess you could say, the real crowdfund era that disappeared and were never, they were funded, but they were never completed.
Yeah, exactly. So I think people are a little gun shy, let's just say, and I have no problem with that. I think people are being smart, and I like seeing now. Technically, I know this isn't your first crowdfunder, correct?
Or for me as a campaign, or
yes, is it?
Oh no, this is my first ever.
Okay,
yeah, it's my first ever. Ever. I've never done any type of crowdfunder, Kickstarter, Indiegogo. I've never done any of those. This is my first ever.
Okay, but you do have a good following on, Tapas, along with Global Comics, and also with Webtoons, correct? I believe, because I looked at your numbers. You have a decent following, let's say a good chunk. So that I think helped. Have you seen much of a bleed over from people following you in those platforms? Have they backed the Kickstarter?
Yeah, definitely. I think a majority of the backers, half of them, is on the Division 5 official Discord. We're almost at 150 people on the Discord server. I'm really shocked by that still. Yeah, no, definitely majority is from following me in word of mouth, and then people I know in real life, and
right.
We're almost at 50 backers now. I just checked.
Wow.
We're at 49.
So yeah, of course, which I'm a backer.
Oh, thank you.
yeah. Actually, Yeah, so we'll go over the campaign. She's got 26 days left, so we're gonna dive deep into those campaigns. But we would just want to point out here because we have. I know you have talked with Mrs. H. Multiple times, and
Yes.
She's a fellow creator like you, and so to see you both getting funded. On her, I believe this is also her first campaign too. So I like seeing that. I love seeing. Unfortunately, we failed our first campaign.
Oh no!
Yeah, well, our goal was $5,500. So yeah, and a lot of that was because we had to recolor. It was the cost of coloring, and I know you as a creator know coloring costs are not cheap.
No, definitely not. I was able to set mine at the $1,000 mark because I'm the one who makes my entire comic. I don't need to hire a colorist or a letterer or
Right.
someone to do any of that. Like I already have all the work done, so there's no work to be done or needed. It's just printing costs, printing and shipping mainly.
And that I said, unfortunately, and I'm going to get your take on this a little bit later on. We'll talk about why I think that's actually going to be the future of crowdfunding, because unfortunately for creators like me, I have to go out and pay for the artwork up front and stuff like that, or
I don't have to.
Yeah, I know you don't have to either, but I think that's going to be the way it's going to go. And it's nothing against creators like me. It's just that unfortunately when you can do it all in the shop, it's cheaper. And unfortunately, I have no artistic skills whatsoever. So I'll be first to admit that too. I have thought about, because I've been my niece for a long time. She's been learning to do art, and she's been getting into a lot of the anime style. But I don't know. I think she stopped for a while. When she went to this private school. It's I don't know if she really does art too much there anymore. She likes to do it when she's home, but So the other campaign I do want to bring up real quick is my good friend of our channel here, Josh Howard. Josh is actually he's I got to switch screens here real quick, guys. Josh is my favorite indie creator. Give me 1 second here. And he is running a campaign for his series T-Bird and Throttle versus the 8 Men. Josh is actually, he used to be with Image for a while. He was with Viper Comics. Unfortunately, he wanted to keep doing his own thing and decided it was better for him to strike out on his own. So he is running now his next campaign for his next title. T-Bird Throttle, he's got 3 days left and he's at 11,000, so he's only needs about $800 more to get funded. So I like seeing this. I like seeing it good. The hard side is, yes, I mean, he struggled to get almost to 12,000. It's been a hard fall. I think a week ago, he was only at a half his campaign with a week left. So yeah, so it's a hard struggle out there. Even with existing creators. Now he's been in the comic industry for quite a long time, but even $12,000 is a lot of
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. But here's the thing: Josh actually what a lot of people may not realize. Josh has funded. This is I think his 5th or 6th overall Kickstarter / Indiegogo crowdfunder. And he's fulfilled every one. Never late. I think almost every single one of my comics have been either a month early or within the same amount of period.
Nice.
So that's a big thing. If anybody can take away, if you're planning on doing a crowdfunder or whatever, try to be on time or extra early. Because that not only helps in your favor. I think when people going forward want. You know what I mean? They want that. They want good content and stuff like that. So,
and that's why I stand by the best advice you could ever give anyone. When they say, "What is your first advice for me?" With a crowdfund, I will tell everyone, have your comic done first. It sounds stupid, but the only thing you want to have to do is as soon as you get the money from your the Kickstarter or Indiegogo, your crowdfund, you want to be able to take it and immediately be sending off for proofs, things like that, because that time of having your book done and immediately having it go to print saves you so much on the back end, and it makes people feel comfortable with backing your book, because when you say the art is done, you literally mean the art's done.
Yeah. Now, or if you actually have a good, like, and I want to see how you feel about this, Rose. So, like, our artist, I got to give shout out to our artist Gifty, him and his group. They literally they had 15 pages done in a month and a half.
Yeah, that's pretty good, especially if you have a team of it. For me, I'm only doing like maybe 1 or 2 pages of Division 5 a week. So I would totally be doing more than that, but I have way too much stuff going on in between all that.
Well, you do have a family, so that comes first, unfortunately. So I think I think as a single a creator like that, doing everything by yourself, 1 to 2 pages a week or monthly, that is a good rate. You know what I mean? And the fact that you've already had this going for some time, so. We're gonna, of course, like I said, we're gonna go over that. We're gonna talk about how your series came about and stuff like that. So let me go ahead. I'm going to switch around here one more time, and I'm gonna pull yours up because we're gonna go. And I want to give a shout out to Xander. He's here on the new channel. He also backed, I believe, he backed our campaign. So. It was good to see him on the new channel. All right, so we're going to talk Division 5, and do you have what do you prefer me to use? Global Comics or Webtoons?
Probably Global Comics or Tablet. Those are the main ones I try to tell people. I have better experiences on those websites, so.
Okay. Let me jump over here.
Oh, come on, those.
Okay, so here we go. And look at it; she's even got her. I was going to ask you, did you put your little notification there on for the Kickstarter?
Oh yeah, I made sure to get that done early because you can actually schedule that on Global Comics. Yeah, it'll automatically do it for you, which I didn't know originally that's how it worked. And I was like, oh, this is nice, so I don't have to worry about it later.
Yeah, so art from Godbane Manga, he's the one that actually told me about it. Like, him and I were talking off, because I was having some issues with the comic, getting it formatted the right way. So I was talking with him on Discord, because I had sent a message through, Discord, and I was having some problems. And he's like, hey, do you know, by the way, that we just rolled out with a Kickstarter / crowdfunding ticker? I'm like, what? I'm like, that's awesome. Because then you have a place where you could drive people to the Global Comics or to the site, and then they can see right away that they can click on the button and go right to the Kickstarter and stuff like that. So they can read, especially if they're reading something to see how fresh, they want, or let's say they're reading chapter 1, they can just click on that and they can click on right directly into your Kickstarter, right directly from that site. And I think that's an awesome feature, I really wish the other companies would do that. So, all right.
Yeah, for sure. That's a really nice feature that I don't know any other website really has that implemented in. So,
okay, so let's click on here. So we want to go. Do you want me to go with the welcome to Division? We'll go here.
Yeah, you could start with that if you like.
So let's talk about you for a little bit before we get into the comic and stuff like that. So how did you get started?
Where were you August 25th, 2020? We have
pictures.
So how did you get started in comics? Like, was this something you've always had a passion for? Or did you go to school for it? Give us some.
So I first started Division 5 or started posting it back in 2019, December 15th, 2019. And I first got uploaded to Webtoon. Before that, I went to college and got my bachelor's in game design. And during my education, we had to work on our own games, obviously. And I started working on my own video game passion project. I didn't name it Division 5 at the time, but it still had like the same characters in essence, and it was going to be a third person, like over the shoulder, like action RPG.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have played as like Winter and Arch Extent, and other characters. And you would have done different quests and whatnot and traveled around Division 5 to the different continents, all that fun stuff. And eventually I came to a realization. I was like, I just really like drawing a lot. And I was like, this would probably be much more manageable for me to accomplish if I just turn into a format where I could just illustrate everything. So that's what I started doing. And then I started making the pages, and I kind of just uploaded it to Webtoon at the time because I didn't really know anything about webcomic community. I never really followed like a ton of webcomics or anything like that. I just liked making a lot of fan comics when I was younger too, like Star Wars fan comics, Dragon Age, Assassin's Creed, and a few other different series. Mm-hmm. So I just like making sequential art. And then I was like, I'm going to make my own thing. And that just kind of happened. I started doing it for fun.
I mean, that's number one, dude. If you don't enjoy doing it, it reflects in your art and in the comic.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and that's the important thing is, you know, just, and I'll speak to that, and I agree with you both on that. You have to really love something. You know, as everybody knows, I'm kind of going through that struggle right now with, do I want to continue in doing comics? But I do have some jobs ahead of me that I have to kind of complete and stuff like that. And I don't know if I want to stay in comics, because right now my passion has been burnt out. You know, I love what I'm doing. I love what I created, but the environment has been so rough on me personally. It's like, you know what I mean? You kind of get beat down. It is a hard thing to keep going. You know, I know Bob and I, we met 2018, yeah, because I started doing this. Actually, interesting tidbit, I've been actually doing the Sporkman since 2005 is when we launched our first issue. So we went a different route.
Back when we were both much younger men.
Yeah, when I was 20 something. So we went a different route than you did, Rose. We went with the print, and we went to conventions and everything. Eric and I, my best friend, and we just like went to this different route. This was before crowdfunding came out. This was before, you know, webtoons were actually kind of an thing, but they were more like comic strips. They weren't.
Yeah, it's much shorter. It wasn't like originals, where it's like 80 panels and beyond.
Yeah, so you know, and then we took a break for a while after 2009 because life got in its way, and you know, life does it. So you know, then of course with you know the kind of big change in the big three, you know, just with the way they started really kind of
sucking.
Yeah, I don't want to say everything in Marvel or DC suck. Just a lot of the titles just were not what I was looking for in comics. You know,
prime example of flubs that would do DC when they're literally dominating the market. Super Sons alone is just raking in the money. Let's hire Bendis. First thing I want to do is destroy this book that's making you all your money. DC, this sounds like a great business move. We will make this money back up on the back end. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the frustrating things, is because Superman's always been one of my favorite comic characters, and I love the fact that he kind of went further and finally made him a dad. You really didn't see that aspect in comics much anymore, you know, with them having kids. Really, the last time you had that was with Spider-Man and MJ and Mayday Parker. Really, other than that, you didn't have anybody else. And seeing your iconic big guy, Superman, having a wife, having a kid, he's raising this kid with superpowers. It's like, and then, of course, you meet Batman with his real son versus, you know, not saying Dick and all the other guys are not his kids, but it's kind of a different dynamic when you actually have a kid that's yours, you know. It was something different, and having the way Jonathan and Damian, and I'm not the biggest Damian fan, but I just love the way they played off each other. Yeah. They just really had this great environment, and to take it away and destroy it, it was like you take Superman one of your big guys, and you have him divorce Lois and dump Jonathan as being a father. Which everybody who knows Superman would never do that.
Yep. Although, and that's the point. That's what gave that. Thank you, DC, for doing this, because you breathed in that very moment life into the indie community, and it's where books like Division 5 can, be a thing.
Yeah.
Sporkman, even my comic that I'm working on, I literally just got to start, finishing up the panels. I got most of them drawn. Now I just got to actually go back, scan them in, print them out, and paint them. I even got cardstock.
Yeah, so and that's where the big thing for me was, we see this change, and I love the fact that especially like you, Rose, this indie community has really blown up. I'm surprised, even though the indie community has been here for decades along, this underground comic thing, but really, since crowdfunding, it has blown up. Quite drastically. And I love seeing creators like you that have used mediums like Campus and Webtoons and stuff like that moving into this realm and getting stuff printed and stuff like that. But anyhow, I'm sorry for that tangent. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay.
But my whole thing is, so I like to not know anything about anyone's project, like the world, anything, because I like to be the guy that you give the elevator pitch to. So, give me your best elevator pitch and, telling me why you think people should buy and read and enjoy Division 5.
So, my super dumbed down version of elevator pitch that I've repeated at least 100 times to people is Division 5 is about a scientist trying to find a cure to a plague called Cosmos Plague that is killing everybody, and he finds a woman who is immune to it and becomes obsessed with her, and that is like the core of Division 5.
Nice. All right, so I'm guessing heavy sci-fi, things like that.
Yes, definitely sci-fi. And then other subgenres, we'll just slap horror on there, because there's definitely blood, gore, and then action, romance.
I kind of get a little, like when you were showing some of your images, I also kind of got like some RPG feels, what I mean?
Remember, she said she wanted it to be originally a third person over the shoulder, basically RPG, like very much in the vein of, I'd say, something similar to like, I'm really trying to think what would.
Well, a lot of my inspirations are like Resident Evil, Mass Effect, Dead Space.
That's what I was trying to remember with Mass Effect.
Yeah. So a lot of inspirations are like that. So if there's any like remnants or that feeling of like you're reading a video game or something like that, definitely achieved my goal with that.
Nice.
So that's where it came from.
All I gotta say is bow, bow, wow, wow. We all know that sound. Really? I got him! That Geth was dead!
Well, I gotta say, like, this first image is definitely a good, I always love a good splash page to kick stuff off, because it's just a way to really, pull people in.
Well, let's call it what it is. It's a splash page done right is a dropping somebody, not jumping in, dropping somebody into the story feet first, not knowing what's going on.
Yep. It's funny because this was not my original opening. I actually cut half of my prologue out, and I just started with this image. So this image is still from the original prologue, but the first half was like backstory. It was just pretty much info dump, and I was like, I shouldn't do that because a lot of people said that the original opening was like too much information at once, and I was like, all right. So I got rid of that, and I was like, all right, we're just gonna jump right into this. We'll just throw people in, so they'll figure it out along the way.
I think that's always a good way to do it, because that's what we've done. We've always done pretty much splash pages for the most part on all of our Workman. Because especially with superheroes, that's what you want. You want the action. You kind of want that image to kind of set the tone for what your comic's going to be throughout the whole thing, or your game, or your movie, or whatever. you want that opening shot. There's a reason why if you look at John Wick, he's sitting there in the first opening shots, he's bleeding and stuff like that. You're like, oh shit, what the hell is he doing? It's setting your tone and stuff like that right away, and that's what I love. You have an image like this that really gets me into like, damn, she's got some powers. Okay, I'm on board.
Right, and let's be honest, that's one of the hardest things to do correctly is to set the tone you want for your book. Page 1.
Yeah, this is pretty much what I did. I was like, all right, this is what you're getting introduced to in the story. She's slicing the creature's head off.
Mommy, why is that lady killing that monster? Don't ask, you little shit. Come on. Before the cops show up.
All right. So, okay. So, now you've been doing this since you said 2019. So, how many chapters are you up to right now?
I just got to chapter 14. Now I just started the first page of it. Each chapter is about, I think, an average of 20 pages.
Okay.
And that's like full traditional pages that I do from start to finish. So.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna jump over to the Kickstarter, and we're gonna talk about that for a little bit, and what some of these.
I like that smug face.
Yeah, the thing is, like, with that face, like, it always reminds you of characters like, say, like Lucy or Rebecca from Cyberpunk Edge Runners, or like any of the Sundari characters of like. I really love those kind of facial features. And then you got the guy on the side, he's like, I love it. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so
why do I do this to myself? She really, like, she can't cook, she can't clean, she's just good in a fight. Like, why am I doing this to myself?
All right. So, okay. So we are looking at here's what the first thing is 175 pages, fully colored, which is chapters 1 through 7, which is a good chunk. 175 pages. Now, are you doing manga size or are you doing regular comic size?
Regular comic size. I think it's like 6-something inches by 10-something inches. I always forget. I have to look again.
Okay. Hey,
so regular U.S. comic size.
U.S. comic size. Okay. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Dan Sakuro. He was he's one of our good friends who does Adobe Kroger, and he also does. I don't know if you saw on Global Comics Triple Crown. He actually has one. I think he's in. I don't know if that's action or something like that. He just posted
Triple Crown. That's racing, man. Straight F1.
Oh, but no, I didn't know if it was under the genre of action. Yeah, on Global Comics and stuff like that. But yeah, so Dan's a fellow creator. We've known Dan for quite some time. So Dan actually was able to arrange with our one artist to get us done. So I got to give a shout out to him. He arranged for illustrator Monk to do a cover for us on Spearhead, which is still one of the greatest things ever, because that's actually partly why we got funded, because of, I think when you have that right cover or that right art, it can help pull it in. Not saying that our art is bad for a comic at all. We have a really good manga and stuff like that. It's just, I think good art always complements each other.
Yes.
And one of the nice things I do like about your project is, I like having. I'm the type of person. The cover is not really my biggest thing. I just like traditional art matching all the way through, and the fact that Monk was able to pull off almost an anime-esque type crossover with Natsumi was a really good thing. So, and I think that's what really creators want. And then, of course, what's his name did an awesome job with our beach sequence, because we were actually talking about that the other day with Mrs. H about having the cheese factor in your wholesome comic.
I mean, to be fair, as I've gotten older, I think cheese isn't as like. I'm kind of like, okay, cheese. Like, we were watching Justified earlier, and it was like, there are parts in that show that make me blatantly uncomfortable when it comes to the unneeded, if you will, cheese. But beyond that, I mean,
But it's a beach. It's the beach thing. It's the quintessential.
yeah,
It's the quintessential thing. And I know, Rose, you were talking about that. I know you had posted Winter in her at relaxing at the beach, which I thought was a great art piece, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I like seeing. There is sometimes the cheese works, and it's not anything. So
well, I'm not saying I fault people for wanting cheese. I'm just saying it's. Let's be honest. It's not even a. I got to phrase this right. I personally try to avoid cheese because then you end up having people come back complaining about it. Let's just be honest. And on top of that, man, I'm like, what happened to having, like, you could have a character be sexy without the cheese. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Absolutely.
Like the 80s and 90s were a prime example of they had some skin tight clothing, but there wasn't cheese all the time, and most of the time you were just.
Oh, I don't know. Those 90 covers really push it, especially with Psylocke and Emma Frost and stuff like that. And how about Caitlin from Gen 13?
Well, yeah, but that was more. I classified that more like late 90s, early 2000s, because that's when you started to see a lot of comics really. You could tell they were trying to get the attention, I guess you could say, of teenage boys.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. So let's go back to the comic here. What are these creatures here, Rose? I really like them.
So those are called feather dusters. They're the equivalent of horses on Division 5. So they're the main mounts. And that the two of them we see there is Trot, which is Winter's feather duster, and then Neil's feather duster is Heist, and they are also siblings.
I really like the design. They have a very otherworldly look on them. I really like how they look, especially I like that you had them as different, like cats are, like not the same coat or anything like that.
Yeah, they're both from the same litter, so they have similar features, but their color palettes are pretty much different.
So is it an inspiration? So is it what are they like? Are they cat mixed in with say a dragon?
She was like watching Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, saw that weird bird like horse thingy, and went, "I'm gonna make it better." That's what happened. True story.
Okay, Bob. Go ahead.
Originally when I made them, I was doing experiments with combining different animals, and the three that came to mind was peacock, fox, and gecko, or leopard gecko. So I'd say those three were probably inspiration for the feather dusters, taking aspects of those animals and kind of mashing them together. Creature design is something that I like doing, and I've done for a long time. And I'll paint creatures here and there, and I definitely need to do more of. But there's tons of different creatures in Division 5 that are similar to feather dusters or have similar features like that too. I try to make feathers a big sort of mark of a lot of Division 5 creatures.
So do they fly or they
bestiary?
No, they do not fly.
Okay.
Have you thought of a bestiary?
Yes, I have one on my Division 5 Discord server.
Bird. See, that's that right there is big brain thinking. It's yeah, I'm going to give you folks all the lore you could want.
Yeah, the way I have my Discord server set up is the more you interact on the server, the more you get XP. And the more XP you have, you rank up your employee level so you can have other files or Seraphic Ink files that you can access about Division 5. Nice. Or about Earth.
So you treat it like they're actually signing up for Division 5, and in order to get to the higher classified material, they got to put time in to get there. I like. Yep. That's good marketing, actually. That is really good marketing. I like that. Well done.
Yeah, so there's 10 employee levels you can go through. As of right now, I think only 2 people have actually gotten to the highest.
Nice.
Nice. All right. Gonna jump back here to.
So while he's doing that, real quick, you guys want to laugh? So I bought myself, a couple friends of mine, Fallout 76 a couple months ago. Because I'd like, why not? It's like not even $10, like each. All right, bet. Guess what's in this month's Humble Bundle?
Fallout 76.
Yep.
I might grab it for PC. Truck. I play it for PS4 with my sister.
Yeah,
not bad.
I actually, in this month's Humble Bundle, there's actually only one game I want out of that whole thing, and that's the other side. That's the only one that looks interesting to me. I don't care about Fallout. Sorry, that's just me.
For me, Pathfinder. I'm not entirely sure what Thronebreaker is. It looks like it. Oh, like I'm not sure, but what's the other side? Oh, so it's also like a it's a if you like XCOM.
Oh yeah, see, I'm not an XCOM fan. Yeah,
I think that's what it looks like to me. I'm not sure.
All right, so let's talk about some tiers here real quick. So I like where people can jump in at $10 for a digital PDF. Gotta love that right away. There's a lot of people who will not offer a digital copy, and I really think as a creator that is throwing money away.
Really, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that a lot of people don't do that because a lot of the campaigns I've seen they usually start with like a PDF tier.
Yeah, there is a certain subset that will not offer digital comics at all.
Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, well, my comic is 100% free to read online anyways, so I'm just like, it only makes sense to have a PDF. Well, a PDF also has stuff that's not posted publicly at all, so.
And that's where you would usually add things like art or extra stuff into that PDF and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know why there's this aversion to digital. Because here's the thing, and what these people don't realize, scanners they can just grab the comic and scan it in, and automatically they have a digital copy. So you're blocking that by offering out already as it is. So I think that's awesome. And then your physical side, if you guys want to jump in. Now, this is a really good price. 175 plus pages at $25. That is a fantastic deal.
Yeah, I did a lot of calculating with the math and everything, and I had my sister help me, and I was just like, how low can I price it to where I'm not like shooting myself in the foot? And I managed to figure it out where it can be $25.
Which is really good because we offered ours. Ours was 120 pages and we did $25. And that, because the problem is, and I know you know this, colors what really, because it's a color comic, it really changes the price of how much your printing is going to be completely.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. If Division 5 was just like black, white, like no grayscale or anything like that, I could easily price it at like 15. Yeah. But there's no way. Like 25 is the absolute lowest I was able to do. Originally I was going to do 30, but I tried to do some math out and I was like, okay, I can get away with 25 without like being without it being like detrimental to me.
Right. So Dan says that your animation on your pinned tweet is dope.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So if you're talking about the video on Kickstarter at the top. So that was a multimedia project right there. I did not do any of the character animation at all whatsoever. The opening sequence that you see, the Seraphic Protocol initiated, that I did that animation. I did all the background art for it. I'm the voice actor for Winter. Everyone has collectively voted me as that. Like that wasn't even like decided by me. A lot of people just said you should voice her. Like I was like, okay, I'll do that.
It's your character, so you know.
Yeah. Well, I was actually trying to find a voice actor for Winter for the longest time, and I just couldn't. And then I had like 25 plus people be like, you should voice her. And I was like, you sure? And they're like, yeah, like it just makes sense. And I was like, all right, it's time to get even more self-insert with her.
I mean, why not? I mean,
yeah.
Isn't that what being a creative is all about?
All right, so
Picking yourself when it doesn't belong.
But all the audio engineering, all the video editing, that's all me. So
nice. Hey, if you could do all the this is the stuff where I step out of the range of like doing. I got to applaud how you're doing everything, because I know for me, like one of the reasons why I like doing live streaming over doing edited stuff, I just don't have the time between doing the lettering and working full time, and I can actually, if you want a good voice actress, our good friend Purity Sin, she does a lot of voice acting. She does voice acting for a certain genre of games.
Yeah,
brown chicken, brown cow.
Yeah, if you get my drive. So let's play the video. I haven't seen it yet, so I should have really started with that of all things. So let's go ahead and we're gonna start this up.
Feel free to full screen.
I'm trying my best not to go full Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, that was really good. I like how you did everything. That was definitely 100%. That was a good video. Now, are you doing when you did it? Are you doing this in After Effects? How are you editing? Are you doing stills in motion that way? Or are you drawing them all in the program for full animation?
So I did all the background art in Photoshop because I make my entire comic in Adobe Photoshop.
Okay.
And I just sent the backgrounds to my animator that I hired, and then he did all the character animation and sent me the video, and then I do a lot of the video editing and I chop it up and add the effects and everything in Adobe Premiere.
Okay. Good.
I have the entire Adobe suite, so I can switch from like After Effects to Premiere to Photoshop and all of that.
Right.
I
unfortunately I moved away from Photoshop or Adobe because I just couldn't agree with their prices and their subscription.
Yeah,
I moved to Affinity. The problem is, the downside is, we don't have a good video style thing like After Effects or anything like that in Affinity yet. I'm really hoping that they can come with something,
And then you got me, who's just going to scan my line work, literally like straight copy it onto some cardstock, paint the mother trucker and fix any mistakes in paint, scan it back in, and then I'm going to use Comipo to do the rest and be done with it.
That's actually how a lot of the old school creators did their stuff. They would do all the line work and then scan it in and then, fix it. And so, yeah, and I do agree, Dan. That is where he says this: the workflow in Adobe Suite by far is its best feature. 100%. That's the thing where Adobe has perfected their workflow. Like, being that you have all this stuff right there. Hands down, I think that is where no program has ever been able to do anything like that. It's just I don't like their predatory.
No, I agree with you on that. I'm used to using Adobe, so that's kind of like what I just stuck with, and it's just easy for me to switch things around, and I can easily take my folders of all my file information and just like folders like in the layers. That I make of each panel, because I put all my stuff for like my panels on separate layers and I put them in folders, and I can easily just click on that folder and drag it into another file. If I wanted to like swap around my PSDs or folders, I can easily slap it in Adobe After Effects or Premiere. It's the file transfer is really, really nice. I just have everything there.
Right.
And a lot of the controls are really transferable. Similar controls. So just having the entire suite is easy for me in terms of like file management and just work like the pipeline, like the work pipeline.
The other thing I really do, I will give Adobe. Here, the thing is, once you've learned pretty much almost one Adobe aspect, because they have a very big high learning curve. You can pretty much use all their programs because they're very similar functionalities across the different things. They might be different names and stuff like that, but a lot of the same similar workflow. Like you said, the workflow in each of the programs and stuff like that and what they do and stuff like that. Because when we were working our fan film, I actually learned in Premiere how to rotoscope. And let me tell you, that's not fun when you're going frame by frame and you're doing trying to create lightsaber effects in rotoscoping, frame by frame in Premiere and stuff like that. That's how I learned lettering. I learned lettering and stuff like that in Adobe. I learned HTML in their original HTML program before they split it off. And then, so like there was a lot of stuff. I did a lot of, for the original comic before we got it colorized, I actually redid the lettering in the black and whites first. And I did everything in design and everything, had them done. And then, of course, that's when they talked about raising their prices. Like, spending $75 on 3 programs and have a lifetime license. Now, I don't know if you saw their new thing. Anybody who has Creative Suite 6, it will actually stop functioning the end of this year.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks about Adobe is like as soon as you stop your subscription, you can't use the programs, which sucks butt. But I pay for every month just because it's what I use. I do have Clip Studio, but I don't use Clip. I have trouble drawing on Clip. That's probably weird of me to say. So I'm a digital. I'm primarily a digital painter. I really love painting. If you look at a lot of my artwork or backgrounds or anything like that, it's a lot of painting work. Or even like the way I like shade things. Tons and tons of painting, and the brush engine and Clip it's just not up to par with Adobe in terms of like being a digital painter. And anyone is welcome to challenge me on that, but I have so much trouble, and I tested the 2 brush engines before and I couldn't do it.
If I'm correct, I think like Art Germ and Sakamimi-chan, they both use the
Photoshop.
They both use Photoshop, and you can't compare the art there. What they do is just phenomenal. And that's the thing is like, why do a lot of your companies use, like, for instance, they use Mac for game design, or they use because or photo editing or video editing and stuff like that, because they're just designed for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like, so like, Adobe's had how many years? A long time. So when you have these new companies like Clip Studio Paint or Autodesk or Affinity and stuff, sans serif, they don't have the marketing power the way Adobe does. Adobe's just been able, and really what it is because they've been in the entertainment industry for so long. They were the go-to program that all visual effects people used. It's kind of like why Maya is one of the best 3D editing programs still to this day, is because of, you know what I mean? Or
I use my 3ds Max and ZBrush. Personally, I like ZBrush better. But I know how to use all those programs, and they're insane, but they're really nice.
Yeah, they're awesome. I had an early version of ZBrush. I really liked it. I thought it was really. I'm trying to think of when that I had. I think it was like 10 years ago. But I knew nothing about 3D modeling, and I tried Maya and stuff like that. I even tried Daz just recently, and it's like, I think those programs are okay and stuff like that. Now I am doing a my avatar and stuff like that. There's a program called Honey Select. I don't know if you ever heard of it or not. It does 3D modeling and stuff like that. And but the characters are more Japanese and stuff like that. But I do like people do mods and stuff like that, and I use that as the 3D program, and that's how I actually did the paper for the stream and stuff like that. My avatar. So. But anyhow, yeah. So let's go back here to this to the thing here. So your next tier is at $48. Now this will get the person the physical merch, the PDF, and
2 prints and a sticker.
Oh, 2 prints and a sticker. Okay. Now is it different covers?
No, I'm not doing variant covers for this.
Okay.
Kickstarter. I'm trying to keep it simple.
Simple.
No,
okay.
No. That's one of the best things you can do. And everyone will tell you, keep it simple.
I did consider that, but I was like, I don't feel like drawing another cover, and it's just me. Like, no one else is like working on my comic. I'm the only one who's doing all this. I draw this comic, for free, so I don't need to put in the extra effort for a variant cover right now.
Well, that's why you would get somebody, like we did. We got Illustrator Monk to do it. That's why you would, but once again, that costs you money. You got to still pay that artist to do the work and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I'm a housewife. I don't, I'm not really making any income. So
yeah, all right. And
hey, who knows? Maybe this might get your name out there, and you'll be able to actually get paid to draw comic books.
Well, I have certain gigs, and I do take commissions, which is my only form of income. But I don't have anything that's like, where I'm actually getting paid a lot or anything a month. Like not even $1,000. But yeah, like I don't have the funds or means as of right now to have assistance. So,
well, let's hopefully we keep growing, and I think you got a good concept. And the way you're doing everything so far, being your first campaign, and I mean you've doubled, you're at almost triple your goal.
We're getting there.
So definitely. All right. So then, of course, $50, you guys can get the double physical book for you and a friend, or you and a coworker, or whatever. Dan says, "Are you willing to take voiceover gigs?"
Yeah, I would be. I've never been offered one, but I'd be willing. I don't consider myself the greatest voice actor, but I've never really done it or like voiceover for like other people's projects. The only time I really ever done a voiceover is like for my own stuff, for like Winter, and I used to do YouTube redubs when I was much younger, when redubs were really popular, especially in the like when Sonic X came out. If you both know that show, it's from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
I used to do redubs as Blaze the Cat.
Let me put you like this.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch.
My Siri went off when I said that.
All right, so real quick, at 85.
One of my projects that I'm working on right now is actually something. Basically, I want to take Billy Eilish's Bad Guy, right? And I want to take it like full Dr. Doofenshmirtz, and like I think it just goes together. I think him complaining about Perry the Platypus and his brother Roger, which gives me a great I guess you could say a good combination with that song.
All right. So the next one then is $85. Get you a double pack of everything.
Yep.
All right. And of course, what's all gone was the top tier at $400, and that got somebody a character in the thing, which is really cool. I was going to say that, and I think what I know you were asking for, we did say that about making giving somebody like a cameo appearance / appearance in the comic, because I know you were asking for like a lot of stuff there back when you were talking about different things, different tiers and stuff like that. So I love seeing that you did that.
Oh yeah, I only limited the top one. I had a few people who wanted that, and I was like, no, I'm only doing one.
If you do it again, and just tell people, hey, if this does well, on the next campaign, maybe I might do the offer, again and stuff like that. So People always so. All right, so where are we at right now? We're gonna scroll up here. Oh, look at that! You're at 50 backers.
Oh wow!
Awesome. So you're at 2684. What what's great?
Real quick.
What's that? Oh, the dog. So what's great is this is day 4, and you have 50 backers. That is a great start. I love seeing that this is, I could easily see if you keep going this way. Now, you're going to have a lull period in the middle of the campaign. Don't stress out. I'll tell you that. You may go for like a week or two. You might get 1 or 2 backers, or you'll go a couple days without backers. Just that's normal. That happens. I'll let you know. But I can easily see if you keep going the way you're going, you can easily hit 5 or maybe 6,000.
I would crap myself if I hit that. I only had 3 stretch goals, and I was like, maybe I'll reach like 2,500. We'll see. So, but I knew a lot of people wanted to see a physical, just as much as me, but I didn't really know how much. So I'm really happy to see we hit 50 backers. It definitely impressed me. So yeah, I'm already working on another stretch goal, and I was going to put it at 3,000. And it was going to involve baby feather dusters.
And that's what you do. That's how you build this anticipation. I think you're doing very well. I like that you've been everybody. Excuse me, I apologize there. When you hit your stretch goals, and I've seen that, you're putting it out that, hey, we reached this next stretch goal. We reached this, and that's how you build that interest to get people keep coming back. And we're going to, I know I'm a smaller channel, but still, that's why I want to get people in there. So that way people can see your project and hear you talk about it, and people get to know you. And that's the thing is, even though this is your first project, you're not new at this because you've been doing it for through not Indiegogo, but through webtoons and stuff like that. So you've been really on par with getting work and updating your project and stuff like that, so people can see that consistency. And I think that's what's helping you big time.
Yeah.
And along with, when you have an already built-in background base, and that does help quite a lot. Having you have your Discord, you have your fans from these other things. Those help feed into, now it's not going to be at 100% both ways, Actually, my friend Neo just messaged me on Discord asking what time the stream is. I gotta tell him
now.
Right now.
Now.
I'm gonna send him the link real quick here.
I was gonna say, you're more than welcome to join the D5 Discord. I do weekly live streams on that as well. It's usually on Wednesday nights for people in the US. Okay. I'll do that, and I'll sometimes do Discord Nitro giveaways. We had a really huge birthday pre-launch party there, and did tons of Nitro giveaways. I did an art giveaway of like a physical print that'll be shipping out. I need to do that actually. I need to do that this upcoming week. I haven't had a chance because there's just been so much snow here. We get like an average of like 26 feet of snow a year. So
you're in Japan, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in Japan.
Okay. That's my dream trip right there.
Yeah, I've been here. Yeah, we're leaving this year though. So
are you coming back to the United States or?
As far as I know, yes. Where? Okay. I have no idea. But we've been here since December 2020.
Does he have family there?
We're in the military.
You're in the military. Okay. Are you stationed up north, or are you down?
Oh, northern Japan.
Northern Japan. Okay. Yeah, I guess everything going on over there has kind of been freaking out with them, with North Korea launching missiles and stuff like that. I guess it's got.
Yeah, we could just say Rocket Man's back at it again. So like the joke that goes around base. It becomes like a yearly thing. I got really paranoid because I'm so used to hearing like things go off on base all day, alarms, things like that, just different sirens. And when we had missiles going directly above the base here, I think it was back in October, November, like around that time, or maybe September. I can't remember. Anyways, back during like fall, 2022, I like thought it was like a drill. And then I got like a message and it was like, you need to take shelter. It's actually a real world siren going off. And I was like, oh crap.
Wow.
So I actually freaked out. And I was like, oh no. So I went to the bathroom and just sat there.
Wow.
And I was just like, if this missile's dropping on me, I'm not surviving. I'm like, the bathroom's not gonna do much good for me.
We were just joined by our other good friend, Scott, who does I don't know if you saw the series Wrath by any chance going around. He's also doing a new one. I think I keep forgetting The Recluse, I think is his new project he's working on. But Wrath is a really good title also. Yeah, unfortunately I know a lot of indie creators, but they're also supportive of our projects. And that's one of the great things. You know, we're a really tight knit community. We have a lot of guys who just, you know, we love seeing projects like yours, you know, be successful, and you know, and we love indie creators. So, all right. So, okay, now let's see here. I gotta switch screens around here real quick. I apologize. I got 3 monitors and I lose track of where I'm at.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of monitors.
Well, the problem is, I do so much work. I'm the type of person, I do so much work on different screens, and I got to switch between them and stuff like that. So, all right.
So I feel kind of dumb right now.
Why?
Like, I've been making jokes, and I've been like, man, these guys are just straight ignoring me, cutting me off.
Oh, yeah, you had yourself muted, huh?
I forgot to unmute myself, and I was like, oh, wait. Like, as soon as I heard Rocket Man, first thing I did is, that's right, I tried to tell you that the Rocket Man has his ways. He is a crazy man that only another crazy man can handle. Vote for me in 2024.
Yep, we do, Scott. Scott says we like to lend a helping hand wherever we can. Exactly. You know, and that's the thing is, every single one of us, you know, Dan, Scott, me, you know, we've done crowdfunders, and you know, we've done, you know, we've all failed, you know, and the other ones we've been successful. So, you know, and that's why I'm glad to see your first one is doing as good as it is. You have, I think you're in a good niche with a good project, you know, that's allowing you to hit others and stuff like that. And
what you have is a good idea. It's not the best idea. I have the best idea, but it's a good idea. It will get you far in life, just as long as you protect it from, you know, the Democrats and everything that they do.
Okay, Donald.
I think a lot of it, though, has to do with I don't really know that too many other sci-fi horrors is the other thing. I don't know that many.
That'll be your best asset, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't really know too many sci-fi horrors because Division 5 is it kind of spirals into that. Like if you're into things like Resident Evil or like Dead Space or like Prototype, like this is the kind of like story you would read or that you'd be interested in. I love Prototype.
Like I think really like the closest that the project I'm working on, Dead Moon Detectives, is going to be basically this is a story idea actually I came up with, and Bob knows a lot about like Celtic ruins and all that stuff. So I have a killer that actually kills on the Dead Moon, which is actually a real thing that happens it happens anywhere from once a year to once every the longest stretch could be 3 years, or it could happen 3 times within a year. It's based all on how the moon and stuff falls out. It's just when there's no moon actually in the sky at all. And it does happen, which is really weird. So yeah, this killer actually kills his victims, and he puts them, and he actually will break the bodies into the shape of runes, Celtic runes. And stuff like that.
That sounds lit. Sounds like a party.
Yeah, so
that's his touch. I was actually going for more like traditional how they would actually do it, which is the rune being carved to a specific part of the foot when trying to summon elder spirits, and like it literally like for runes depicting strong like emotion and love, that rune would be carved on the heart. Runes meaning grounding and strength, that rune is carved on the foot. You know what I mean? Things like that. Like go into the actual like old Viking and whatnot ways of doing shit like that and having meaning.
They're still going to. I wanted to make it a little bit more brutal than just that. I kind of wanted them, the people to be like very visually mangled and stuff like. So yeah, it actually does. The story ultimately ends up he's trying to summon Lilith to our world, and that's so.
So it's like It's basically like a supernatural horror.
Supernatural horror. But kind of in the vein where, it's basically it's basically about the main female character and her brother's parents were originally murdered by the killer, but he got away. But they were able to stop the ritual, so he's restarting the ritual again because he failed the first time. So it takes place, starts like it's like 15 years in between the beginning and how the main story starts and stuff. So. Yeah. So, but it's kind of and that's pulling some for the horror stuff like Outlast and taking some stuff from Resident Evil and those different things because I like those things.
Yeah, well, a lot of Division 5 has to deal with an actual like virus that's pretty much affecting everyone, and a lot of the commentary on it will be said by like Archextent, who's the main male character there that you see in the cover. Well, the story follows Winter and Archextent. But Cosmos Plague is something that is not fun. And
it's totally fun. All the way.
Yeah. Fun for us, not for them. And it's something that we pretty much will get to see like in the story with chapter 4 is the fun one. That's pretty much the chapter where it's like this is really the kind of story you're in. Highly recommend at least reading up to that part. But yeah, no, it's more based on hard science. There's no supernatural elements in Division 5. It's not a supernatural at all. It's not really fantasy either. There's usually a lot of explanations for example, for Winter, like with her ice abilities. That's a mutation. So we're dealing with people who have like actual mutations for their abilities.
Basically, the cosmic virus, if you actually live through it, you end up with some sort of ability.
No. Well, if you read it, you'll find out. I don't want to spoil.
Yeah.
That part I can't explain.
Yeah. See, Bob, you got to go out and read it. The link to her global comics, if you want to get started ahead of time, is in the chat. So I definitely highly recommend you guys go ahead and start reading it. And that way she can get the.
All I gotta say is, oh my god, you're asking me to actually like read.
Yeah. What do you think this is, man?
Luckily, Division 5 is a really short read. It's not really long read at all.
Don't mind me. I just got jokes. Literally,
yeah. Bob's being a little sarcastic. So so right now, so it looks like you got enough material for 2 volumes.
I'm working on volume 2, and I just have one more chapter and then bonus stuff to put into it.
Okay.
So I am planning to have a Division 5 volume 2 book that people can purchase, but I'm hoping to finish that by the end of this year.
Okay.
And then next year I'll do the Kickstarter for that.
All right. I got quick side note, not to fully sidetrack. All right. But so I may or may not have invested in those anime posing mannequins that you can buy. Bro,
okay.
That, good investment. That was it. I am working on just using the female one because I found a good both the male and female one for like $27 or something like that. But I'm using it, man, bro. This thing is actually fucking legit, bro.
Oop,
Like,
okay, that's not the right screen.
y'all, like, may I suggest, madam, you get this for yourself because this is, oh snap, life made simple.
Mhm. Yeah, so here is our artwork from Spearhead. So yeah, so that way people can see exactly our so our artist is actually from Indonesia, and we've had a good relationship with them for since we started the first comic, and then he opened a studio with a couple of friends, and he brought on board they actually do art styles from a lot of different, from Western comics to manga style, and Spearhead, we wanted to really explore the manga style, because it takes place in Japan, so and I wanted to be able to. I think if it's manga art, so manga style art, it's a little easier maybe to break into Japanese, because Western art tends to not do as well from what I've seen.
Yeah, manga's definitely doing better. It's also since it's black white, it's easier to produce more, which is why it's quicker to get stuff out.
Yep. Cost wise, it's a heck of a lot cheaper too.
Yeah, that's also very true.
Yeah, when you're spending only $125 a page versus when you're doing color and you're spending anywhere from double or almost triple the cost, because depending on who your colorist is, it's a lot of money. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
So all right. Does anybody have any questions in the chat or anything like that? For
I'm gonna start
Rose?
off with a question. Is like one of the important ones that I generally always try to remember to ask: does your story have an end?
Oh yeah, there's an ending to my story. When I first started Division 5, I immediately thought of what my ending would be.
Already.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. The story. Yeah. There's an ending to it. I know what it is.
Good. Well,
now,
go ahead, Doug, or get Chuck.
I was gonna say, what is your how many chapters are you looking at? Or are you just kind of doing? I'm doing so many chapters to wrap it up, or no? I plan to do it in say 25 chapters or whatever.
I could not tell you how many chapters are
Okay.
left. I couldn't tell you that. What I can tell you is I'm working on a novelization of my comic. I have a lot of health problems. I just got diagnosed with dysautonomia. I faint just by standing up.
Oof.
It's been getting persistent. Yeah, I've been kind of spiraling downwards health-wise. So my goal is to at least have Division 5 finished as a novel, which will be done way before the comic is done. It's easier for me and less taxing on me to just make it as a novel. I just had the 9th chapter proofread, so I'm going to be typing up chapter 10 probably this upcoming week. And then I'm going to start releasing the novel updates on Tappa starting this fall, around September, October.
Okay. But whatever, and that's the thing is, you have to, you have to do what make, that you know what I mean. For what you're dealing with, you have to adjust your life to whatever your stuff is.
I can sum up what you're trying to say a lot better. You're going full Bear Grylls, pointing, adapt, overcome, survive.
Pretty much.
So yeah, real quick, if everybody, I don't know if everybody can see this or not. This is a new page here. With the with Natsumi throwing the spear. So, yeah, we originally had only 5 pages done, and so we had 15 pages to do, and that's where we did our crowdfunder and everything for, because it was a lot of money we didn't have up front right away, and that's what we used the project for. Is to pay for that and to get fulfillment done, which is why our cost was a little bit higher. And I really want to get to the point where on anything I do, I want to be able to do everything up front, and so I like the fact that you have pages done already, and people don't have to wait for a long time to get the project.
Yep, and that's like I said, that's why right now I'm putting in the work. And that's literally the best thing I can tell anyone who's wanting to get into the space, man. Put in the work. Put in the work.
See, and here her fulfillment date is June of this year. So, which is a really nice, and that's a nice good. I'm glad you actually gave yourself a good leeway, because that way you also. I always say you always do 3 to 6 months, because that way you never know what happens. Life gets in the way, or some things can happen. I like that you gave yourself, Rose, enough good cushion and stuff like that in case of anything should come up. Like we did with I know a couple people were waiting during the pandemic. There was the whole paper shortage right there towards the middle of the whole thing. We actually ended up, our comic got delayed by almost a year and a half because of the paper shortage.
Yeah.
So, which is really good. So, all right, does anybody else have any other questions for Rose? Let's see where we are at here. Oh, we're up to 52.
Wait, what?
You're up to 52 backers.
Oh, wow. I didn't.
So you gained 3 backers while being on the thing. So that's awesome.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
So you're at 2731.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I should make this next stretch goal higher than 3K. Wonder if I should.
It's one of those, don't overdo it, but always I'd say stick to the 3K threshold, but have a backup for if you blast through that.
Yeah.
Okay, I could do that. I was gonna make something with baby feather dusters, because I was talking about them before, and a lot of people are like, "Yes, I need that," and so I was thinking of making something for that I can include that everyone can get.
Yeah, just don't ever. One of the biggest things is, and I'll take this from example. Don't ever don't ever go to where you don't have enough money for everything, because that I actually had for our last campaign, I actually had to shell out extra money because we didn't have enough on items. So yeah. Dan does have a question for you. He says, "Will you be doing an audio book for your novelization?"
I can do that. I could always do an audiobook later.
And that's not another area where it's like all you could do that in your own home, just sitting down, chapter 1. Yeah.
And with your voice as good as it is, I definitely think you can do it. Now, Dan does have an audiobook himself of his Knight Errant, I believe it's called, his Adobe Kroger series. So, which is why he asked that, because he has a book and he also has the audiobook for it too. So
yeah, I could definitely do something like that. So yeah, I gotta finish writing the book first, but I know what my ending is. I know my major events. I just have to write my way there.
He said he has 3 audiobooks. My bad.
Awesome.
So actually, so I do want to point out, guys. So I stood my ground on this cameo. I really, 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 really wanted to have this cameo. I don't know how much of an anime fan you are at all, Rose. If you watch anime or anything like that, do you know who this person is right here in the middle?
Hold on, let me look at it. Let me try full screening. In the middle?
In the middle, yep.
No, I don't.
So that is Miyuki from You're Under Arrest.
Oh, I've never seen that shit.
So the actual our actual home. This is actually a homage to Ghost in the Shell and You're Under Arrest. I'm a huge fan of the 80s, a lot of 80s anime, 80s and 90s anime, and You're Under Arrest and Oh My God is were some of the early animes that I watched. And Miyuki was the original model that they ended up doing Belle Dandy from Oh My Goddess for. So same author and stuff like that. And so I'm a really huge fan of You're Under Arrest. So I'm like, hey, we're having this cop thing. I gotta have her and the vehicle in the manga, just as that nice homage to my
Oh yeah, I
love.
like little stuff like that.
So give me
Yeah, biggest animes I've been into is like Kill la Kill. I really love Kill la Kill a lot.
I haven't seen it. Actually, what's funny is to find irony, while I just painted Saitama from One Punch Man, I'm not a big anime guy. Like, but love Berserk though.
But it's One Punch though.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, let's be honest. Part of the reason why I painted that is because I saw someone had reshared the clip from season 1 where him and Genos were training and everything, and you just see him go to town trying to hit Saitama, and Saitama just like zip, dip, 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 throws one punch, takes out the mountain behind him. Like, doesn't hurt him, but takes out the mountain behind him. And it's like, yeah, that's not a man you mess with.
Yeah, all I have to say is you've definitely got to read later on in the manga. I'm up to 100. I think I'm up to technically would be like volume
Have they finally figured out he's technically a monster?
They all are monsters.
Yes. Oh, they figured it out that they're all monsters, and that's how they have their powers.
Yeah, because basically Gaia gives them the powers. She gives them whatever their heart's desire is.
I figured it, like when I saw in one of the first, I guess you could say, promo clips for the show. They had someone talk about how if you want something bad enough, you'll change into a monster and everything. And I was like, that's why Saitama lost his hair. He became so powerful, but he became a monster, just a humanoid monster.
Yeah.
And like it was one of those, like I was picking up what the artist was putting down.
Yeah. Yeah, like when you see what like everybody does, like, terrible tornado and pretty much what everything comes up to. Now apparently there is like this other elder god that is like resides out in the moon and stuff like that I'm getting close to more information and stuff like that. So it's just of course they announced season 3.
I still need to watch season 2.
Oof. We have access to the Plex, bro.
I know, and I also I went and picked up season 1 on Blu-ray because I was working the Chickasha store and my spidey sense was tingling, so I was like, all right, let me hit the Walmart there.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, they had Superman, Batman, and Darkseid all clearance $7 each, and they had that for like $15 on Blu-ray. So yeah,
I got to try to find this page here so I can show you guys here.
Right now, I am painting Wonder Woman, and yeah. Like I said, I'm really liking that little these little posing mannequins because that would
help.
Yeah, it really does. Like first shot, I messed up the one leg a little bit, but I can easily fix that when I go back. Like right now, I'm just trying to get her main colors down and everything, and I got the body down. I'm just
all right. Here we go.
I'm just finding it hilarious that you've seen me struggle trying to draw for years. I decided I'm just going to give it a shot and pick up painting because the latest set came with brushes. And yeah, I end up having a better time painting. Go figure. Or an easier time.
Yeah, so if you actually take a look at the the car is actually the same police car from the anime and stuff like that. So, yeah, Scott says his time is up. Congrats on the campaign. He's looking forward to read the comic. Scott, have a good night, sir, and
Later, bro.
say hello to the daughter and the wife, and best of luck. Good to see you again. And then we got Neo coming in late, as always. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just trying to say, thank you, Scott, for backing my Kickstarter. I appreciate it.
So, all right, since we had Neo coming in late here, do you want to give the pitch again?
Oh, what Division 5 is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And I'll be right back.
All good. So Division 5 is a sci-fi webcomic that is 100% free to read and currently having a Kickstarter where we are trying to make the webcomic into a physical book. The too long to read version of the story is a scientist is trying to find a cure to a plague that is literally killing everyone. And he finds a woman who is immune to it and becomes obsessed with her.
But not the creepy, hey, I'm going through your garbage, obsessed.
The I'm going to keep her as close to me as possible so no one else has her type of obsessed.
That's not much. If I can't have her, no one can. Chill, bro. She's doing that into you.
But like as you read, it's definitely a different take. It's mainly a sci-fi horror with the subgenres of action and romance.
Oh, nice. And I like Dan's comment. Neo isn't late. He arrives precisely when he means it.
Exactly.
Always. Oh, I got it. Real quick before we do anything, I got a show. And speaking of cameo, Neo actually has a cameo in our comic. This is Neo right here. And if you look where Noburu's talking here, the guy who is running in as the background here, that is Neo's character. Reiserman. Shoni. Yeah. Sorry. Had to run down the steps. So, all right. I'm sorry, Rose, to interrupt you there.
Oh, no, you're good.
Oh, no, we were having a laugh, especially since, you missed the whole creepy stalker joke about her main character. It was great. This is what happens when you gotta leave, bro. The good jokes fly.
It was either that. I had to go to the bathroom, sir. It was either that or go all over the bathroom all over myself, and I didn't want to do that.
All I gotta say is air quotes. He had to go to the bathroom.
Have you ever seen the show called You on Netflix?
No.
I have not.
Or heard of it. The main character is named Joe, and he's essentially like a stalker, essentially. But one of the things that I really, really love about the show that I kind of like implement into my comic, and this was before I even watched the show, is he has a lot of really fascinating like internal monologue. Like half the show is like hearing his monologue and his thoughts, and that's something I've implemented into the main male character, which is Arch Extent. So as you read, you get to see his thoughts about like what he's thinking about. How does this work? How does this mutation work?
That's great. All I gotta say is I hope you very quickly understood. Don't take anything I say too seriously. I am a troll.
Oh, that's all good.
Yeah, Bob's our resident
troll.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep, that proud troll. They pull me out from under my bridge when they need someone to make people laugh. I have a bit of a mean sense of humor at times. Don't worry, it's aimed at everyone, including myself. Don't feel bad. Just understand. It's all about the jokes. The joke.
Oh, I understand. I'm a resident shit poster, so.
Oh yes.
You are in good company, my friend.
Bob, if we had the old crew together with Brian and everything, she would fit right in.
Yep, that's why I said you are in good company, my friend.
Yeah, our friend Brian, who does rags, he's our resident shit poster, and he loves to have fun.
Yes, we like. I guess you could say we're all trolled. Well, welcome to Mos Eisley. You'll never find a worse hive of scum and villainy, where we're all shit posters, trolls, and jokesters.
So I think we might have gotten one more. We're at 54. Was it 54 before? I thought it was 53.
53 for what?
backers.
Right. We're at 54. Oh, thank you, y'all. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting my work. Oh my God. I got this big dumb smile on my face right now.
Look at we got our 5 backers on the streams. That's awesome. So, see, and it's little streams like this that can go on. If we get 1 or 2, I don't know how much you have on backup, like what's your I think you're doing really good. I think I honestly, Bob, I had said to her, I think if she keeps going at the rate she's going, she could probably get 5, maybe 6,000 if she keeps going.
No, dude, no, and the fact that it's part of the reason why, like for instance, I'm trying to get everything to where I can do it all myself, is because less people, less like you can focus more money onto your book where the money needs to go.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, everything's already done. I already have the PDF done. Like it's just sitting in my hard drive right now. I'm literally staring at the PDF and I'm just like, all right, so when we get funded, I can send this to people. The only things I have to worry about is the backers because I need people's addresses. The sooner I get everybody's address when I send the survey out, once the campaign's over, the sooner I can send it to the printer. And then the only other thing is out of my control is whatever Comics Wellspring says. So they're the ones who are printing the book for me and shipping it.
Oh, they are shipping it. I was going to just ask you, you're not shipping from Japan, are you?
No, I can't. It's illegal for me.
Oh, that's right. It is.
It is actually 100% illegal, and I will lose my SOFA status, which is the Status of Forces Agreement, and I will lose my command sponsorship. So I'll get kicked off the base. Yes. So it is very serious. I cannot use the post office for business purposes, like at all. If it's like 1 or 2 things I'm sending to a friend or whatever, it's fine. But if I'm doing something like this, like I can't.
Yeah, they would definitely be a little upset and stuff like that. So.
Like I've had a friend or two like buy prints for me because I actually have my own printer here and I send them in the mail, but that was like people I personally knew. So like for a Kickstarter, I can't have it shipped here and then like ship it out. Because the military post office is only supposed to be used for like things that are needed for home goods or morale support. So like essentials basically, or gifts.
And I guess you can't ship out with the Japanese address.
I mean, I could have done that, but I don't think people would want to pay $40 shipping to the United States. And I don't think people would want to pay $75+ shipping international.
Oh, that's right, because normally, like I know when I get my figures from Japan, EMS costs me about, it's not EMS, I do usually DHL, but still I'm looking at $30,
people, so you know how expensive it gets.
Yes.
Like I looked at it and the book is going to be like £1.50, I think.
Yeah,
so it's not like it's a small package I'm sending that's like light. It's gonna be at least £1.
And I don't know if I think even if you were shipping it by EMS,
it'd still be a lot.
It'd still be a lot. Yeah. So I think that's awesome that Comic Wellspring is able to do that for you, ship them out. Because that actually helps you out quite drastically and stuff like that. So
yeah, because the problem for the longest time was I couldn't figure out like how I would do Kickstarter. Like I was wanting to do it for a while and I just couldn't find any solution. And then someone finally told me, I forgot who it was. They told me that Comics Wellspring does shipping fulfillment for you too. And I was like, wait, what? And I looked it up and I was like, oh shoot, I can use them. And I contacted them.
I know it's new because it wasn't there when we did it back in 2019. They didn't have that option. So
they told me the shipping is $12 to the state because the book it's not like you're buying like a
floppy.
staple bound. Yeah, you're not buying a floppy. You're buying the book. I have a book called Darby by Shara Jackson. He's awesome, by the way, and Darby is amazing story. But the book is the same size as his, and his book is 180 fully colored pages, and that baby, I weighed it, is like almost a pound and a half.
Wow.
So so it's like a thick colored book. So they told me shipping would be like $12, and then international, they said it can vary, but said like 25, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do flat rate for shipping on my Kickstarter.
That is the smart thing to do, because here's the thing is, because I do know, we said on Sporkman, our highest, I kid you not, our highest shipping cost was South Africa, was one of them, and the other one we shipped to was in Europe.
Yeah, I believe it.
I forget which country it was. It was like $30. South Africa was $25, and I was like 30 because my friend Eric was handling all the shipping, and I'm like, why is it $30? He's like, this country just, they're one of the highest. He said, I can ship to UK $15. I can ship to, France $15. He said, but this particular, I think it was either Finland or Scandinavia, one of them two. And he's like, they are so expensive. And I'm like, and Mexico is the other thing too. So mind you, Mexico's just right south of us. It cost us $25 to ship to Mexico.
Yeah, I believe it. It gets really, really pricey, honestly.
And I know, I know a lot of people are like, that's where a lot of people's contention on backing stuff. They're like, oh, why I gotta pay so much in shipping handling? The thing is, I try to tell everybody, it is not in our control what we charge on shipping costs. We cannot. There's no budge room for that at all.
I don't control the shipping. A lot of people are just like $25 shipping for international, and I'm like, I'm not the one who like has control over how much shipping is. So
the only thing I could recommend if you wanted to do international shipping, there is a publisher, Drive Through Comics. They have a print on demand functionality over in the UK.
So speaking of that, Global Comics is going to be doing a print on demand feature. And I will be utilizing that for Division 5.
Okay, so and that will help it with international shippings wherever they need
in the future. So whenever that's up and running, and I have it formatted for that, so I have to. I don't know when they're coming out with print on demand though, but I definitely intend to utilize it.
I'm hoping I know it's sometime this year. When, who knows? Unfortunately, so
probably Q4.
Probably towards the end of the year. What
Oh yeah, for sure. So I'll use that, and then that I'm just since Comics Wellspring's the one who's shipping these books out, I'm pretty much going by whatever they're telling me the shipping fee is.
And that's about right. I can tell you that you're not being, they're not screwing you over in terms of the pricing. I can tell you that's what the pricing is.
Yeah, and then they have a $2 fee per package on top of it for handling.
Yeah,
which makes sense, honestly. I've been pretty transparent about that. Like even before I started my campaign, I was like, "All right, guys, this is the price of the book. This is what the shipping is. This is what I was told. Like, here's what it is. Like I'm not hiding anything, and I always believe in like full transparency, especially with projects. Like I was looking at my shipping because I think Kickstarter says 20% or more of your project will basically be shipping, right?
Yeah.
So like if I go right now on Kickstarter and I look at the fulfillment, it says 20.5% of my funding right now total is just pure shipping.
Yep.
Which sounds about right.
Let me see what mine ended up being here.
I would not be shocked if that went up to 25% at some point. I wouldn't even be shocked by that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the only other thing of my concern is, and we actually had this happen, four backers did not go through with their payments. and it hit us hard. we actually were at one point we did like $3,400, and because those people didn't pay, we ended up under $3,000 getting back.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, but we, based on our budget and stuff like that, luckily it's in with our wiggle room, So after paying our artists, we have $1,000 left over, which covers the shipping and printing and stuff like that. Now the only thing is, I got to pay out of pocket myself for the metal print cards. So because that was a bonus that I did myself, to get backers. So let me.
Yeah. I am gonna have like a hard cutoff date of like when you have to submit your address to me, which will probably be like May. So I'll be giving people like a solid month to get back to me on that. And it might sound asshole-ish of me, but I want to get the books to the printer, and if people aren't going to give me the address, then they won't be able to get the book. So
no, I agree.
So it's like and on Kickstarter it says like it's not a guarantee you're going to get it. So if you're not going to give me your address, unfortunately, after a certain time period, you're just not going to get the book.
So here is
settled on that.
Ours was $486 collected for shipping, or 14.2%.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so which is funny. We actually had somebody going to the Netherlands. We have one Australia. That one we charged because Australia's cost went up to ship there. So they're at $30. Netherlands and Italy $15. UK, we got 4 backers at $80 total, and then the United States was $346. So
yeah, mine's at 20.5. I made sure I'm pretty much covered on that, but when the campaign's over, I will be sending out the surveys for people to fill out their address, and then I will, if I don't have everyone's address by May 1st. You are out of luck if you did not give it to me, because I will be sending the books to the printer by May the latest.
Well, and you have to not to be a stickler. You have to do it, because I know POTUS Thump and Pella Creepy, who do Common America, they do the same thing. Like they want you to get your stuff back to you. It's like, and that's the thing is, and I know my best friend and I have had this discussion, and I'm a backer too. I'm a super backer, and I've backed probably hundreds of projects on Kickstarter, and I can't believe that people just do not follow. You know what I mean? Well, you get emails. Why do you shut off the emails? Because you don't want to get the notification from Kickstarter. Well, then you're missing out on stuff. Yeah,
so. You're gonna miss your product. So that's that. And I sound like a hard ass, but that's kind of what it is. I'm just like, because I thought about it. I was like, I feel bad, but like, I need to get the books to the majority of people, and I don't want like 1 or 2 people being the reason why it's all held up.
No,
and that's not fair to people at all. Like, it's not fair.
And you're not being a hard ass. What you're doing is you're making sure you're being a shrewd businesswoman. You're making sure that the book gets into the majority of the hands of people, and those who didn't do the simple fill out the
your name and address so I can ship it out to you.
They did that themselves. That you were trying to accommodate them. They were like, "Nah, bro, I do what I want." Whatever. You're like, okay then.
And then they come back to you. I kid you not. We had 2 people that got their products returned from. We did our Indiegogo for Sporkman in 2019. We shipped it out back. We finally got everything shipped out in 2020, beginning of 2022, and we got back two backers, because they didn't give us correct address information. Even though I purposely sent out saying, if you moved, please email us, because by then the Kickstarter closes, the Indiegogo closes. I'm like, if you're moving within this certain amount, we are shipping now. If you've moved, we need to get an email to this particular email address. Nobody sent it to us. Then, of course, the person says, hey, they email us about a month later. They're like, hey, where's my stuff at? I'm like, we shipped it out already.
And you missed it. You didn't check your email, or you missed it. Once March 9th is here, you can expect my Twitter to at least be saying, "Hey guys, I'm sending surveys out.
Yeah.
I need your address. If I don't get it by like May 1st, you don't get the book." It's
And
you know,
like I said, and that's not being mean. That's you're putting your needs as a creator first.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. So, hope fingers crossed, knock on wood. Hoping everybody gives me those addresses. That's like one of my fears with that campaign is people don't give me their address. I'm like, no.
No, I think you'll be okay. I will say this between Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Everybody on Kickstarter was really good about getting when we did our campaign for Spin. Yeah, so I tend to think Kickstarter's a little bit better than that. I don't know why Indiegogo backers are like that, but yeah. So that's what I would do. Yeah, don't if you have a plan, and I agree with you. If don't change anything. So be a hard nose because that's what it is. It's it's the whole reason why we're offering these products to people. We want to get them into their hands as much as possible. It's incumbent on you as a backer. You got to meet us part way.
Oh yeah, and if you go to my story, if you read the risk and like the risk for it, it literally says you are a risk. Like I'm not, like it is true. You are like anyone. If you are a risk, like if you're not not submitting the stuff like to the creator, whoever's hosting the Kickstarter, it's like, hey, you lost out on it. So yeah,
right.
no, but I think it'll be fine. So, and thank you so much everybody for backing my project. It really means a lot to me, and I'm so excited to see it as a physical book. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be chunky.
I can't wait for it. Actually, you're up to 56 backers now.
Oh, thank you. Hey, thank you.
You're up to 2806. So yeah, so now you got 2 more backers here. So we're looking at now. You almost got 10 backers on my street, which is awesome.
Oh my god, thank you so much, guys. It's really fun. I didn't expect it. No, I really did it. So thank you. Thank you. I think the book's going to come out really kick-ass, and once I get all the proofs and stuff, I'll be posting on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere, and I'll just be like, look at this. I'm really excited.
I think from one creator to another creator, I think you're doing everything right. I like that we'd said earlier, I love that you went out and you researched your prices, you budgeted everything, you did what you need to, and that's the way to do things.
So like I mentioned before, but I'm a housewife. Like my job, like I figure out the bills for us. Like I'm the one who's like, I'm not the one who's paying them, but I'm the one who's like, I need to know how much this is. We have to budget for the groceries,
right?
Like, do the tax, so for me, it wasn't that difficult to figure it out and research prices.
But I like that you evolved the community. I love that you have Discord, so you're getting you already have people back in. I do have in the description. I did put your Linktree in there, so that way people can join the Discord wherever you are.
I can link it here too if you like.
Yeah,
anyone
please.
Wants to join. Yeah. Let me just put it right here. Yeah, it's discord.gg/division5. So I post tons and tons of update. I pretty much live on there all day. Pretty much live there. And I also post like exclusive artwork that's only on there too that I don't post publicly as well. And there's tons of different lore on that server and memes, and it's been turning into a really big community. So, and everyone's pretty friendly there. We have a few fellow shit posters and trolls too. So
nice. so in other words, we will feel right at home.
Oh yeah, yes.
So all right, so we're gonna wrap up here. I know it's been almost 2 hours here. I don't want to hold you up. I know you got the rest of your day ahead of you here. Those lucky people are in Japan.
Yes.
Saturday at 10 o'clock. You're 10 o'clock or 11?
It is 12:50 p.m.
Oh, okay.
On
That's
Saturday.
Right.
It's the afternoon for me.
Yeah, you're 13 hours ahead of us right now. 13 or 14?
14.
14.
I think.
Yeah, because I'm on East Coast.
Yeah, 14 hours. Yeah. Well, I'm originally from East Coast, so that's what I was used to for all my life until I got here.
Yeah, Bob's from the Midwest,
I mean, I'm a bit more. I guess you could say from Germany, ended up here when we moved back to the States.
Well, I can't. I guess that I can't say much because I'm a West Coaster down back to East Coast because I was born in Alaska and and now I'm in Pennsylvania. So yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate seeing you guys here. Neo, appreciate it. I think we had a great guest to relaunch our new things here. We got a new creator, she's fully funded, on our first campaign, which is a great news to see. We got almost 10 backers.
Thank you.
So we got some great followers, so I'm loving to see this. And, Rose, where can people follow you on like social media wise?
So I'm on Twitter. It's at Roselinath. I'm also on Instagram and I'm also on Facebook, but you probably see more of me on Twitter. Twitter and Discord are kind of like where my main stuff is right now. So you can follow me on those, and they're just at Roselinath.
Excuse me. Pardon me, I apologize there. Okay. And like I said, guys, her link to her Discord is through the Linktree in the description. Make sure to like and subscribe to the new channel, and join her Discords. That way you can see some cool stuff. And
remember to put in the work to move up within the Division 5 so you can see more stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. You can become an employee too at Seraphic Inc.
All righty. Okay, guys. Bob, where can we follow you?
As always, you folks can find me on the Twitters at Brainiac420. You can find me everywhere else at Bob Jones Comic Ward, and you can find my channel at A Nerd and Over 30.
All right. And then, guys, as always, you guys can follow me at DeadMoonD on Twitter. I'm so used to seeing Sportman Studios for everything. Dead Moon D as a thing, and on here, it's at Molten Chaos 1975. And I'm hoping I don't know, I haven't decided yet. I might stream a certain game tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. Because
is it the one that literally kills people?
Yeah. The thing with wizards. So anyhow, I haven't decided yet. I might do my next stream of Shimigami Tensei Nocturne. So, or maybe do some more lettering. Who knows? I have off this weekend. I don't have to work. I got 2 days off in a row, and then I start my 14-day stretch again. So yay, so much fun. So Rose, thanks for coming. I appreciate you. I love this. It was a great stream, and I had fun.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me on the show.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming on.
And then, of course, we'll keep out, we'll keep tweeting you out and supporting, getting backers to see more of your campaign and stuff like that. And hopefully we can get you more backers, and then we'll keep everybody apprised through everything else. So thanks, guys, for coming. Appreciate it. Have a great night.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Later, folks.